And not very long ago, we had Peggy Little on the show. Peggy is Senior Litigation Counsel at the New Civil Liberties Alliance. And we were talking about a court case involving their client, Michelle Cochran. And there's some big news yesterday. Well, big news if you're a law nerd like me, that I wanted folks to hear about because there are bigger picture implications here. So Peggy Little, welcome back to KOA. It's good to have you.
Thank you so much.
What happened yesterday?
Well, it's actually, we released a press release yesterday, but it happened very quietly late in the day on Friday. And to everyone's shock, the SEC dismissed Michelle Cochran's case entirely, along with 42 other cases.
Why?
Pending for years.
Okay, right. Gosh, there's so many things to say, but let's start with what was the reason that they said they dismissed it, and what do you think was the real reason they dismissed it, since it seems like you've been stomping them in court?
Well, you have a point there. The reason they said that they dismissed it was that there has been proven very disturbing misconduct at the agency, whereby agency enforcement staff have been accessing the files of the administrative law judges. That kind of exchange of information between the prosecutorial arm of the agency and the judicial arm of the agency is absolutely forbidden. It would never happen in a real court. And we have known for over a year that in Michelle Cochran's case, and also another case that's probably headed for the Supreme Court called Jarkissi, both of those adjudications had been hopelessly compromised by these exchanges of information. We've known this for over a year. NCLA filed FOIA requests immediately to get the material, and it's been over a year, and we got nothing, zero, zilch from FOIA, so we had to take them to court, where to date we still had nothing, zero, zilch. Then quietly on Friday, they dismiss 42 cases and disclose that these breaches had also happened in dozens of other cases. We're still trying to sort out how many. One number is 61. There are higher numbers. And it also looks like they're only reporting about open cases, not closed cases, which is a big distinction, and one we intend to further try to ferret out. So they're using this misconduct as window dressing for dismissing all these cases. But if you understand what Michelle Cochran's case is about, she has been trying since 2019 to have the constitutionality of this in-house adjudication challenged in a real federal court.
Right, and just so listeners understand what's going on here, right? The SEC is accusing Michelle Cochran of some modest violation, not some very serious violation, in my opinion. And the way these agencies work is they have their own fake judges that are called administrative law judges, but they are colleagues often of they work for the agency, and they know that at some point they're going to be bringing their own cases against somebody, and someone else is going to be the administrative law judge, and they're going to want to get a conviction there. So this whole system is rigged against the citizen and in favor of the agency, and they're not real judges. And so Peggy and the team at NCLA has been stomping this whole concept in court, trying to get Michelle a hearing in front of a real judge. And it seemed like it was going that way. And now the SEC dismisses the case after 4 years of terrorizing this lady?
It's even longer in many of these cases. Some of these cases have been languishing for years before the SEC, and all of a sudden it decides it's just going to dismiss all of them. Now, what was decided 7 weeks ago at the U.S. Supreme Court is that Michelle Cochran can go into a federal court and say these judges are hopelessly compromised, they are biased, they have too many removal protections. These are bureaucrats you can't get rid of, so there's no check, and they were never elected to anything. They were never properly appointed, and they should not be having judicial power at all. She was also going to be challenging the fact that these adjudications deny her jury trial rights. So what the FCC has done is simply tossed her case out in the hopes that that will at least slow down or discourage people from bringing these cases in court.
All right, I'm just about out of time, but do you think that Michelle is still going to be able to have this trial? Obviously, the SEC is going to say this is moot and there shouldn't be a trial anymore.
Right, and that's certainly their intent. Whether or not they're successful in that venture, they are not going to be successful in stopping NCLA's onslaught of litigation with respect to these adjudications. In Cochran, that was a case decided with the FTC as well, and that ruling at the Supreme Court applies across agencies, and anyone in any one of these agencies who is harmed by that a bias and those structural problems can bring their case in court because of that Supreme Court decision 7 weeks ago.
Peggy Little, a senior litigation counsel at the New Civil Liberties Alliance, nclalegal.org. Peggy, thanks for being here. Thanks for doing what you're doing. We'll keep in touch.
Thank you so much.